my sister friends. My name is Jenny. My channel is Senior Perspective. Today we're going to talk about Sister Wives episode number 10. All right, let's head through it. The episode opens up with Christine and David at McKelty and Tony's house because they're going to babysit. I don't know. It was kind of confusing. She said they wanted David to just babysit and Christine to go along with them. I don't know if that was just a joke. I'm very confused. Wasn't that funny of a joke. Anyway, at the very beginning, Christine is reflecting on the fact they had just gotten back from Gwendolyn's party. She's saying how lovely the party was. David and Cody were saying again, like we saw it for the whole episode, but we're going to reiterate again, TLC, get it together. I am so tired of every episode repeating exactly what we just saw in the last episode. How many people are joining in on Sister Wives randomly at episode 10? I don't think that many. We were good with the little recap at the beginning before this episode began. Last week on Sister Wives, that's where you do it. We don't take all of these couch interviews talking about what happened in... Okay, sorry. So she's reflecting on the fact that, oh, Cody and David met each other. Hey. But the weird part about it, to go one step further and make me even more frustrated, is that Christine has to go over the top about it. She says she was really nervous about it, which we could see because she was like really loud when she was there. And you know, the extra loud laugh, that uncomfortable laugh. We saw that last episode. Fine. It was awkward. I get it. Given the situation, it would be awkward for anybody to be in. Plus, you add on top of that, there's cameras, and you add on top of that Christine is going over and beyond to prove that she is so happy without Cody and life is so much better without him. Okay. We understand that subtext is going to be there throughout this entire season. I need to just get used to it and not get frustrated every time she just goes above and beyond. But can I just point out that in this episode, her explanation of David meeting Cody and how David felt about it was not that David was okay with it, or David didn't mind, or David was happy to get it over with, or David knew it had to eventually happen, so he was happy to do it sooner rather than later. No, this is what Christine says. He was excited to meet Cody. No, I doubt it. He was not excited to meet Cody. He may have been fine with it. He may have been more fine with it than you were, but that doesn't make him excited. So that's just a lie. I know there's no way this man was excited to meet her ex-husband, who she says such negative things about. All right, moving on.
He was excited to meet Cody. He's like, heck yeah, I want to meet him.
He was like, heck yeah, I want to meet him. No. I know he didn't say that. He would have been like, yeah, fine. Yeah. Is different from, heck yeah, I want to meet him. I don't believe that for a second. And then she goes on one further.
Heck yeah, I want to meet him. That sounds great.
That sounds great. Heck yeah, I want to meet him. That sounds great. Out of everything I wanted to do this week, I'm putting that at the top of my list. Heck yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like, hey, do you want to take a vacation to Aruba? Heck yeah, that sounds great. Do you want to meet my ex-husband on camera for the world to watch it? Heck yeah, that sounds great. Lies. I like Christine. I like Christine a lot. I just want her to be more authentic. She is trying too hard to act on the show, like everything is okay. And the sad part is, I think everything is okay. So her overacting and really out and out lying makes it look like she's trying to cover something up. That's what you do when things aren't great. When things are great, you're just confident in what you have and you can just sit by and be like, it was good, yeah. She keeps saying, we're solid, and I believe they are. Just stop saying it over and over again, over-enthusiastically. I mean, I know she's an over-enthusiastic person, but this is beyond what we've ever seen before on the show. I'm kind of getting over it. Christine in her talking head is also talking about how great it is to be with the grandkids. I will say, Enjoyed this a little bit because I knew it was a direct dig at Cody.
Being a grandma is the bomb. The kids are really fantastic, and being able to go play and then go home again is always lovely. We're gonna read a book. What? It's really cool just to be involved in my kids' lives when they're having kids.
This would be the kind of thing that would really get him. Him seeing you overact like everything's great. He's gonna be like... But her just simply saying, we're so excited to go see him, seeing the grandkids and hanging out with them and babysitting is great. I love it. That is what's going to get Cody's goat. He wants to be the one to watch the kids. Well, not really. He wants to be the one to have the grandkids at his house so that Robin can watch them. And he can say that he watched them too, that the two of them together watched them. He probably would solicit all of the older kids to come help, and Robin would do the majority of it, and he would be on his phone or doing whatever, maybe leaving for periods of time and driving in his truck. I don't know. Christine compliments Mykelti and Maddie on being amazing parents, and I think that they both probably are. However, I just want to point out that Mykelti said the twins were good because she fed them a bottle before she put them down for their nap and changed them before the nap. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe it was just my particular kids, but every time babies go down for their naps, they wake up with a wet diaper or more, but almost always wet. And if you feed them a bottle right before you put them down and they take a nap, they will wake up with a wet diaper. Those diapers needed to be changed.
Guaranteed.
She's like, oh, I changed them before their nap. I'm like, yeah, we all do. You always put them down with a dry diaper. And then when they wake up, you always change it again, right? Maybe it was just my kids. I might be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong.
Yeah, peace out. You're good. When did they eat last? So they basically just barely woke up from a nap. I changed both of them before they went down, and I fed them both before they went down.
Ooh, okay.
Literally, my kids never woke up with a dry diaper until we were in the throes of toilet training. That's how old they had to be. But when they were little babies like these are, Okay. And I'm just surprised that Christine didn't go, oh, well, let me change them again if they just woke up and had a bottle right before they went down for their naps. And I do recall that at one point, I don't think the camera stayed for very long. And at one point, David goes, oh, this one needs to be changed. I'm like, yes. That was probably 2 minutes later. Wait a minute. This one seems to be quite wet and heavy. Maybe you can share and say, no, that is normal. Your babies were weird, Jenny. Okay. And we can't end the scene without me pointing out the fact that David threw a dig at Mykelti and Tony about the fact that their house is normally not clean. Which I will say, I felt bad for Mykelti and Tony in that situation. Because I remember every time after I had another new baby, the house, it was always a disaster. Little kids just do not pick up after themselves no matter how much you encourage them to. And hey, can you move that over there? Hey, can you put your stuffed animals over there? They sort of do it. They don't really do it. They throw them in a big pile so it still looks messy. Baby paraphernalia is everywhere. And they have double the baby paraphernalia. So
They actually clean their house.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you said that.
I personally didn't find it that funny. But it's clear that David is comfortable with the family and Christine's kids that he would throw that dig out for the world to see. All right, now we move on to Parowan, Utah. This is where Meri's friends, Blair and Jen, have come over to help her paint a room. It is apparently clear to me that none of them have ever painted a room. Obviously, Blair did not do the actual construction of the lower level of her carriage house by himself. He just created the design and had workers come in and do the work because, one, they're coming up with little kits that you can get at like Dollar Tree, but you can also get them at like a Home Depot and that have all the, here's the tray and here's the roller, here's all the real basic, cheap quality stuff, all in one kit. For those who've never painted before, here's everything you need to start. They have rolls of tape to mark things off that are brand spanking new. They're not from any other project they had before. They're starting them from scratch.
And I never even use them.
This is a scene just set up by TLC to have a different environment for Meri to talk to her friends. You know what? I would be fine if Meri just sat on a couch and talked with Jen. We didn't need Blair in the scene at all. He was useless. There was no design aesthetic involved. There was actually manual work. The painting was going every which way. It was them talking and like this. Nobody does that. You watch what... I'm sorry. Okay. Just bugged me. Again, it was just a TLC, you're bugging me to think that we think that was an authentic scene. I get that you have to have different environments so the show is not always people just sitting in chairs. I understand. But can you do something that they would actually do in their lives? Because clearly, painters, they are not. And we have a whole stupid dialogue going on about Meri saying she might want to paint the carpeting. Blair being the voice of reason. You can't paint carpeting. You can paint tile, but not carpeting. I mean, it was just stupid. I want to say it was just silly, but it wasn't even silly. Like, nobody laughed at that scene other than Meri and Jen, who laugh at absolutely everything. I love to see Meri happy. I love to see her laughing. So I'm not going to say any more about that. It's a much better Meri than we have seen the majority of Sister Wives seasons. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Be happy, Meri. Even if it's not funny. Now, let me just say, the room they're doing is upstairs in the main house, the B&B. So I have to retract what I said in the last video when I was shocked that the upstairs of the carriage house was a workout room. I assumed last season when we saw that like kind of dormer looking upstairs room that it was upstairs of the carriage house. I assumed wrong. I'm pretty sure now this is the room we saw that was Meri's bedroom that is upstairs in the main B&B house. From what I remember, it turned out cute. I think they just painted the whole thing white. All right, we have a scene that when I first saw it on Sunday night, I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. And it was Meri talking about how she's essentially been single for all these years again, but she pointed out that when she travels, she doesn't have anyone that checks in on her. There's no one to see if she got anywhere safe. It made me a little bit sad for her, and I thought, oh. And then I started thinking about it, and when I travel, I don't think my husband ever checks to see if I got anywhere safe. I don't think he does. Because I might send text messages just saying, landed on the way to our daughter's house, or landed on the way to a hotel, or wherever it is I'm traveling to. I think I might just automatically just sort of send FYI text updates where I am. I suppose if I was flying somewhere and he didn't hear from me for 2 or 3 days, he might check up. You can tell the man is not over invasive. He just assumes everything's working out all the time. So I thought, well, Meri, I don't have anyone that like texts me or calls me and says, did you get there safe either?
You're not alone.
Now, if I would let somebody else particularly know, like one of my kids, et cetera, or a friend, like I'm going to be traveling to so-and-so and I'll try to get in touch with you when I get there or whatnot. I think a friend or one of my kids might say, hey, did everything work out okay? Did you land okay if I didn't text them updates? Maybe, possibly.
You're a strong, independent female.
So from my perspective, I think she's kind of making a mountain out of a molehill here, but
That's just me.
it's something she wants that she hasn't had. The question is, why hasn't she had it? Why has Jen never texted her and say, hey, did everything work out? Apparently they are besties. How come Blair's never checked in on her? Where is Leon? Are they not in communication at all? Why has Robin never, when you've done all this traveling, checked in on you and made sure you were okay? And yet you consider her one of your best friends. I just have lots of questions. What do you think about it? I went from, oh, that's sad, to, well,
You're fine.
You're not alone.
she's also got all these siblings too. I didn't even think about that. So it's possible Meri is doing all this traveling and doing a bunch of stuff and just not telling anybody. So nobody's checking in on her because she's just being independent and doing her own thing. Back when they were in Vegas, I don't remember who said it, but someone made the comment that it would not be unusual for Meri to just disappear for multiple days. And people wouldn't know where she was. She would just take off and take a trip. Now, I think this was kind of during the catfishing thing, so she wasn't giving anybody a heads up what's going on, because I know she traveled to California to meet the catfisher, and, you know, maybe other trips too. Maybe it was even LuLaRoe stuff that she was traveling to and just thought, I don't think they care about me, so I'm not going to bother to tell them. Well, if you think they don't care about you and you don't bother to tell them, then they're not going to check up to see if you got somewhere safe if they don't know you even left. All right, all comes down to communication again, right, folks? She needs to be letting people in on her lives and letting them know where she's going, and I think they might check in on her. Maybe she's saying the only person I would tell that I was going anywhere is Cody, and he never checked in on me. That's a possibility. But if it's true that Cody's the only one all these years she's telling what's going on, then she was in deeper than we even thought. And that's what's really sad, that she would think that he would care. And that she didn't rely on any of her sister wives, especially the one that she was such good friends with, to share information about when she was traveling. All right, we're talking about this way too much. That little part, because I switched so significantly from to what, I thought I'd share about it and see what you guys thought about that scene. Okay, we have some really interesting editing going on here with TLC, where Christine is reflecting on what life was like when the kids were all very young and she was watching them. And we have adorable footage of them when they were young, especially when it was the original 5, running around, all still in diapers, young ages, and just so cute, so cute, so cute. And Christine did a great job of structuring the environment and the day so that it kind of functioned like a preschool. Because let's face it, when a teacher is there with 3-year-olds in a preschool, you have to have structure, and the kids have to follow a routine. And Christine did that to get through the day, and it seemed like she did a pretty good job of it.
What's he eating? Smile, smile, smile.
And then we would wash up and we would change diapers, and then we would have like playtime that was a designated time, and there would be snack time. It was almost like a preschool. I just had it working, and it was great. It was fun.
She said the most difficult part about it was when Gabe and Gwendolyn were born, because they were born only 4 days apart. So here she is with twins. She is recovering from giving birth to one of them. And there's still 3 other very, very tiny little ones in diapers that she's caring for. So 2 things were of note to me in this situation. We cut to Janelle, who's also talking about the twins being born and how difficult that must have been for Christine, because she had the rest of them and then she had the twins. And Janelle said, I just went back to work after I gave birth to Gabe. All right, what's of note there is the fact that they kept saying the twins, the twins, the twins, the twins.
So Gwendolyn and Gabe were our closest that were together. They're only like 4 days apart. And so basically I've had twins just with Gwen and Gabe.
We used to joke that Gwen and Gabe were our twins because they were really born only 4 days apart. And I went back to work. So Christine probably did feel like she had twins at home. It would have been a lot of work because she had all the other children and then these 2 brand new babies.
Because so many times Robin kept saying how, really, we have the triplets now because Aurora is the same age as they are too. So we have triplets. She was forcing square peg into a round hole and saying, no, we have triplets now. Well, the twins were born, I don't have the dates in front of me, but the twins were born in something like October, and Aurora was born in like January.
Nope.
I think it was April.
They are not triplets in another calendar year. But I think it's funny. Robin's pushing for them to all be triplets. So that being said, and we've covered that in past videos, you can go back and look it up. I don't even know where it is. Just watch everything on my channel, you'll find it. But I believe it was, I don't know if it was their intention or if it was the producer's intention to push the narrative of the twin, to put a little dig in at Robin. I don't know. It's fact.
All right, well.
I mean, I think you think it's silly.
No, I don't. I just don't know how to reconcile it because I can't leave my boys out hanging out.
They're adults. Bye-bye. I'm going with Aurora, kind of like a sort of an experience, a daddy-daughter experience, and we're going to go get her ears pierced.
Shut up. So there's that. Then right after that, after they're talking about how the situation all worked out, Christine only mentioned Janelle only mentioned Christine, and then they go interview Meri, and Meri talks about how she took time off of work to watch the kids too, because Christine just had a baby, and now she's got 5 kids to care for postpartum, and we also know that she gets postpartum depression, and the 2 newborns are twins. It makes sense that Meri would have needed to take time off to help her out in that situation. That is too much for any human to handle. Although out there, I am sure some of you know somebody who's been in the same situation. Oh, I can only imagine. I had a friend that had a boy who was about 3 years old when she got pregnant with triplet boys. All natural, no fertility treatment. It's a lot.
This isn't about you.
Anyway.
All right, we're back on track.
Another little dig on Cody comes from Christine, where she talks about how David is handling something at this new house that they just bought, putting in a hot tub, I think, and he has some landscaping ideas all planned out, and Christine's just over the moon, and I am so happy for her. This was more genuine of her. This was, she was like brought back down a little bit, and she's just like, listen, at the other house in Flagstaff, Cody and I would talk about things that we were going to do, and he kept saying things that he wanted to do and things that it was going to get done, but I mean, what? They lived there 7 years. Nothing was done in that backyard. It looked like a desert. Robin's backyard looked beautiful. Grass, playground set. Oh, actually, not only in Flagstaff, but also back in Vegas. She was the only one that had grass and a completely finished backyard. Remember that? Okay. But she was not the favored wife. No. Sacred cow with a statement necklace. Okay. Back in Parowan, we have Jen and Meri talking about the fact that Mary's going to have all this furniture from her house in Flagstaff. What is she going to do with it? Because the B&B is already full of furniture. And Meri said that she gave some of it away already to her sister. Jen asks, is Cody okay with that? And Meri quickly says, doesn't matter what Cody thinks about it. See, away from Cody, she acts so strong. It doesn't matter. I'm divorced from him. I don't care what he thinks. But when she's around Cody, it just doesn't appear that she has that same strength. I think she's still holding on maybe to the fact that, I don't know about getting back together, but the fact that maybe he still likes her a little bit, you know? Like, she just needs to find another man to get out from underneath this one.
Totally.
She shares with Jen the experience of him saying, don't you want to keep some of the furniture for nostalgia's sake? And she said, what? Why? To be nostalgic about our broken marriage? That doesn't make any sense, which I completely agree with. But then she goes on to say, well...
It was actually kind of funny. He comes in and he's like, aren't you keeping it for nostalgia? Like, nostalgia for what? He says things like that, and it makes me wonder, maybe he's still dealing with the emotions of it. But he has wanted this to be done for so long. It confuses me because it also feels like that he hasn't quite embraced it yet.
Basically what she's saying is, I'm not sure that he's completely dealt with our divorce. Like, maybe he still needs to work through things. The fact that he wanted me to keep it for nostalgia's sake, meaning he's nostalgic about it because we got it together. I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. I think Cody's ego was bruised that she was so willing to just get rid of everything that reminded her of him, that he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, he's thinking, you're still pining after me. You still like me. I know you do. I had to literally kick you to the curb to get you to go and say, we will never be back together. Never, ever, ever getting back together, as Taylor Swift might say. So when Meri said that on the show, I just wanted to go, no! He doesn't think that. He doesn't think that. He's not being nostalgic. He's being egocentric. And that ego got a little bruised when he saw you just saying, give it away. I'm not even selling it. I'm giving it away. That's what happened. She's reflecting on her time with him and saying how, it was good at first when they got there that he helped her move and he helped her find other rentals.
So?
Well, he did that times 100 for Robin. So breadcrumbs. Don't be grateful for breadcrumbs, Meri. But then she goes on and shares some good information with us. Do you remember how we've been talking about how he led her on to believe their relationship that was dead in Vegas would get rekindled if she would sell her house, give some of the money to Robin to buy her house, and that she would come over to Flagstaff as well and be part of this whole big picture family plan, and that they would start working on their relationship and get it back together again. Meri buys it, hook, line, and sinker. She's in. She gets there. Never happened. She'd been bamboozled by the man.
You've been hoodwinked, baby!
Holy hoodwink.
Hoodwinked. Bamboozled.
So poor Meri is sharing how Cody led her on terribly this entire time. And because his word saying we're going to begin new again, any little thing that he did for her when he was nice to her, because it was on and off, she interpreted as, this is the beginning of us getting close again. She specifically shares their interactions together in the last few years would be him coming over and essentially venting to her. So she interpreted that as he's letting his guard down here. So he can complain about the other wives or anything else going on, or his kids or whatnot, to her because she was a safe place, which she then also interpreted as, this is making us closer. This is the steps to our relationship and bond getting close again. He didn't see it that way. He saw her as an escape. When he needed to complain about people and there wasn't somebody to complain to, I can always go to Meri. Meri will always listen to me. Meri is the faithful one. She will always have her door open for me to come over and spend time venting and complaining about other things in my life. And she did, because she wanted to get back together with him. And he knew that. He knew that. We all knew that. The world knew that. He used her so terribly. It's disgusting.
Big.
Cody's excuse for why they didn't get back together, when Meri was like, please, I want a relationship with you. It's classic Cody words. There wasn't a fertile bed for love to grow. What the F does that mean? There was a fertile bed for love to grow. She had a big old house all to herself without kids interrupting. Fertile bed for love to grow. Cast all your worries at the door. Walk on in, Cody. There's no one here but you and me. The perfect environment for love to grow. His stupid attempt at poetic words bite him in the butt. Lies. Cody goes on to share how they were a couple for 8 years on the brink of divorce who were completely separated and had nothing to do with each other. Meri's talking about how, anytime he spoke to her, she thought this was the beginning of rekindling it again. Because when he told her we were going to rekindle our relationship, he never came back and told her otherwise 8 years ago when he changed his mind. That's disgusting that he did that to her. Disgusting. And I will say, disappointing that 8 years Meri allowed him to do that to her. It was just her waiting and him saying, I don't know why she's waiting. Although we all know why she's waiting. She's waiting because he told her, let's move to Flagstaff and begin a relationship anew. And never corrected that when he got there. And according to him, realized, just not that into her. The truth is, he should have said, I never meant it to begin with, but now that you're here, thank you. I needed the show to continue. If I lost a wife, I'm not sure if TLC would have kept it going. We needed your money to contribute to the family account, as well as the sale of your house here, because we need to definitely, if nothing else, buy Robin a house to live in. She's got the youngins, and they're the golden children that go with the golden cow. And then Meri shares that Cody just recently shared with her that 2 years ago, he made the decision, I will never be in a relationship with Meri again. I think it's longer than that. I think it was a good 5 to 7, maybe even 10. I think it was before they ever moved to Flagstaff. Quite frankly, I don't believe him when he said he was going to try again. But according to Meri, the fact that he told her 2 years ago I had made the decision, which I think was him trying to be nice, really hurt Meri's feelings. Because Meri, somehow, some way, appears to have not been clued in on any of the information the rest of us have received. Cody's not coming back. Well, and in her defense, according to her, when there's no cameras, he says different things to her. He messes with her mind.
I don't think that was fair to me. You know, if he really was having these feelings that he really, really was done, it would have been cool if he would have just talked to me about it instead of the mixed messages that I kept getting.
He'll say things on camera like, I'm not coming back to you. And then in private going, well, I don't know, maybe we should think about working on things. So he's just rotten. He's rotten.
He was just messing with her mind, man.
Poor Meri. There is an interesting part here at the very end. And I will say, I do believe this is the part that Blair does have a paintbrush in his hand. I'm not sure he actually uses it. I think he's just holding it. Nevertheless. So they're all painting the wall. And Blair comes right out and says, well, that's leading you on. If he knew 2 years ago and he didn't tell you. And Meri just laughs. It's not funny. Blair doesn't laugh. Jen kind of does. They both laugh at everything, even, yeah, okay.
I mean, I think that's called leading you on. No? Is it? I mean, that's...
I mean, it could easily be called that.
Term. Blair adds nothing. He told you nothing. He didn't call you. He didn't text you. He didn't email you. He didn't share this information at all. And Meri and Jen just laugh. I don't understand what's funny. I think they think he's trying to be funny. I think he's being genuine in saying, why would he not let you know he was done?
I was honestly shocked when he told me. Like, it's like, yeah, no, I decided like 2 years ago. I'm like, did he just forget to mention
and
that?
You didn't want to like email me or text me and let me know that. I mean, it's...
Okay, this is the best part. Meri sharing a little bit more information, not enough, but sharing a little bit more information with us. This is what she shares.
He asked me over the years to do a lot of things to be able to start. He's like, okay, you do this and then we can work on a relationship. He asked me for some specific things. He had this list of things that he wanted me to do in order for us to work on our marriage. And once I completed that list, he was done because I had done everything that he asked of me.
Yes, I said this in a prior video. I don't know which one it was. Again, go watch them all. But in a prior video, I said, I think that he kept telling her, just do this and then we'll get back together. Just do this and then we'll get back together. Otherwise, why would she just uproot her life with all her friends and her business and her home and everything that she knows to go to Flagstaff where she doesn't have any children and she doesn't have a relationship with Cody? Unless he promised her the hopes of a relationship rekindling. Well, and then we learned through the years that indeed happened. Well, according to Meri, he's done it over and over and over again to her. All right, this is where you come in. Do what? What do you think? This is where I want Meri to come back and give us more details or write that book that we're begging for you to write. What are the things you think he said she needed to do? Do you think that maybe he told her, I need you on my side, I need you to be against Christine? Because the way she reacted when Christine was leaving and he was so mean to Christine, Meri completely took Cody's side in it. Like, who could objectively look at that situation and go, yeah, he was in the right, she was in the wrong? That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. What are other things? Financially? Maybe he said, prove to me that you're invested in our family and give 50% of everything you're making at Lulu Row into the family fund to help the overall family because you don't have kids you have to pay for. But oh, look at poor Robin. And you love Robin. She's your best friend, sister wife. We need more money. She can't work. She's got to take care of the youngins. She's got to clean the house. Oh, wait. She's got somebody to clean the house. She's got to make the kids breakfast, drive them to school. Oh, no. Cody does both of those things. She's got to make them lunch or dinner. No. The nanny does that. She helps them with their homework. No, she had a tutor for that. Dang it. She needed somebody to watch her when she went shopping. So please, Meri, give us some of your money. Then we know you are really committed. Possibly? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out.
Sounds about right.
Finances and relationship with Christine are the only two things that come to my mind. What comes to your mind? Please tell me. Hello, everybody. You have made it halfway through the episode. Thank you very much. Take this time to just hit the like button and write a comment down below. Maybe answer one of the questions that I have to all of you sister friends in this video. Or tell me why you like or don't like this channel. All comments are appreciated because they all help the algorithm. And I would love for this channel to grow so I can get to the point that I can drop one of my other part-time jobs and have more time to make more content on this channel. Now, back to our show. Our scene goes back to Christine's house now. And we get another dialogue about how many... This is already the second, if not third time in just this episode that she's talking about how long it's been since she met David, to when they got engaged, to when they're moving in the house.
Oh, this again.
Yes, this again.
David and I are moving in together. We're moving in together. Oh my gosh. We only met a couple of months ago.
I just don't care at all anymore. I don't care. And quite frankly, they kind of change in timelines a little bit, so I don't know if they're still trying to hide and lie about how long they've known each other, or if it's a TLC timeline thing. It all happened very fast. End of story. Let's not keep rehashing it and laughing about it like it's so hysterical. It's not so hysterical. It's not so funny. Move on. So in this scene, Isabel is there as well. She is seeing her mom and David's house for the first time. She's very concerned about David taking the place of her dad. It's very evident here that even though Cody completely dissed her and dismissed her when she was having surgery, did not go to be with her during that time, and suggested she get on a bus or a plane and just take herself there all by herself, she still loves him. God bless her heart and soul. It's her daddy. And we do know from the past that they were close. She was kind of a daddy's little girl. So she's struggling with this.
My mom and Dave moving in together is another massive step that they're making. Throughout the relationship, this has been like a common thing. Like, they're going extremely fast. There's not enough time to consider anything that could go wrong.
Christine acknowledges that she's struggling with it, and then on the other hand, she says, I don't care.
I know that Isabel's struggling with us moving in together. I know she thinks it's too fast. But the thing is I'm not going to slow down for anybody else. This is what we want to do. So we are. And everybody else is just going to catch up on their own time.
I don't know. I don't want to go down that road again. All right. In the conversation where Christine is real and brought back down and having a very heart-to-heart conversation with Isabel, I still see Isabel looking into her mom's eyes and trying really hard to say the right words to not disappoint or upset her mom.
What part's that? Everything.
Really?
Yeah. But you're moving at your own pace, which is beautiful.
It breaks my heart a little bit. She's so good. She can be a good mommy someday.
I have decided to move before my lease is up. Honestly, I don't really know that Cody really cares.
I don't think that Robin really cares, quite frankly. How could she? She never checks up on you. She never arranges anything for you to see the kids. And in fact, whenever Meri arranges to see the kids, she manages to always cancel it. There's always a reason it can't happen. Robin is not a good friend. Robin cares about Robin.
It's going to be sad to not be able to see them. And at the same time, I haven't seen them much over the past few years. Even while I've been here, honestly, I feel like it's like pulling teeth to be able to see the kids. I text Robin and I'm like, hey, let's get together, and it's, I don't know why. I don't know why it's been hard.
Because she is not a good friend to you. She's not only not a good friend, she is not a friend to you. In fact, she's hurting you, Meri. This is so good that you are leaving. Break free so that you can see it with clear eyes.
Bye-bye.
It is shocking that Robin is allowing cameras into their house.
I'm like, this whole thing with the family has been very hard. The whole thing with Meri has been very hard.
I'm sorry. What's hard? What about this thing with Meri is hard? Nice descriptive language there, Robin. This thing is very hard. Explain when you never want to see her, you never touch in with her, you never text her, you never call her. Why is it hard that she's leaving? You could be actually closer after her leaving because you never see her. So maybe now you can FaceTime and call and text and email each other and be closer than you ever were. There's a possibility there. But for some reason, Robin wants her in that city. This is about Robin and what Robin wants. There's many reasons. I can't quite put my finger on the exact reason she wants this to happen. She claims it's because her kids will be sad if Meri leaves. I do know she loves her kids a lot. But if she cared about Meri at all, she would see to it that Meri saw the kids. And quite frankly, because there's no reason to keep Meri away, if she really loved her kids that much, she would see to it that Meri would be in their lives too, because it would enrich their lives. Why has Robin been keeping her away? And now why does she want to keep her still in the city?
She only wants what she can't have.
Cody, dumb question of the year. Here we go.
So I just came to ask you a question, because I'm going to be moving in a couple of weeks.
Why so early?
Why so early? Why so over-affected, Cody? Cody's doing his, again, acting very strange, speaking oddly in speech patterns with his large eyes like he did in that episode at the end, the talkbacks or the lookbacks at the end of last season. This is the same thing. You know what, now that I think of it, I'm going to splice in here too. He had that same weird look when Meri came to the door, as opposed to like, hi, Meri, come on in. He's like, hey, she was so excited to see you. It was just a very odd way of holding his body and looking around.
How's it going?
She's been excited about you coming.
Oh, you know, for me, the hardest.
And I just thought, oh, it's Cody, it's creepy. I didn't say anything about it. But now that I put that together with his, why so soon? Something's up.
Why so early?
He also, when he's in that weird state, whatever is causing it, does a lot of the big-eyed, confused look. He was doing that with Robin on the couch that time, that he was hyped up and all that stuff. And Robin would talk to him, he'd be like, confused.
Was it okay that I was disputing you and saying that's not true? What he's saying?
Well,
It wasn't an act. Because I saw you.
There was something wrong a long time ago, and you thought it was that I was so attuned and attentive to my wives. And the fact of the matter is that I was reacting to a bad emotional state.
Enough jibber jabber.
I was trying to do what the right thing was,
But
Robin.
you thought it was love.
And I thought it was the right thing.
Right. But you felt and thought it was love.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's doing that here again, too. Meri's completely confused, also, by his reaction. You wanted me to leave a decade ago. Why so soon? Makes no sense. Now, in the couch interview, which are filmed months after the season wraps, Cody reflectively at this time, very coherently too, in a very different state, shares with us what he was really thinking and feeling at that time.
Isn't this what you wanted?
My immediate reaction is, in my heart,
In your heart.
was good. This will be good for Meri. But I never tell Meri what's going on in my heart anymore.
In your heart.
It's not actually safe.
Not safe. Why? TLC, why did you not ask him why? What about telling Meri, I think this is good for you. I'm glad you're moving. Why would that not be safe? And what do you mean by it's not safe? What does that look like? If you were to say that, is she going to come beat you up? Is that what's not safe? Is she maybe going to get angry? Who cares? People get angry every day. That has nothing to do with being safe or not safe. Okay, so there's the threat of physical violence. There's her maybe raising her voice. Who cares? What else would there be? Maybe hurting her feelings and her starting to say things that she knows about you and the family that she has kept in the vault. Now, we know she's not physically going to attack him, so we have to take that one away. So that leaves us with, it might not be safe to tell Meri something she might not want to hear because she might reveal my secrets. That's what I think. But even that being said, it's nice to say, I'm excited. I'm happy for you. I didn't expect it to happen this soon, but you have my blessings. If you need anything, let me know. That's a nice thing to say, Cody. So obviously Cody had another subtext going on in his head. The subtext was probably, whew, thank God. I could not wait for this woman to leave. She's finally going. That's really what you were thinking in your heart. Let's talk about what's in your heart, Cody, your tender little heart. I can tell right here in this whole little interview thing, not speaking the truth to us. And TLC, boo on you again for not challenging him and asking a follow-up question. Explain yourself. That's all they had to say. Then Meri goes ahead, makes a good joke. Good joke. Meri, I said this in my live on Sunday night. Meri has the best one-liners out of everybody in this whole family. Nobody else is really funny. Every now and then Christine throws out something that's funny. It's more miss than hit for her. Meri's got the gift of humor. Here's a classic example of it. You driving the truck of all my stuff to Parowan. Let's consider it my severance package. Cody should just say, yes, and I'll make sure I pay for renting the truck, and I'll pay for the gas, and I'll buy you lunch on the way. He is getting off scot-free in this deal. That she just walks away, and all the money she's put into the family, she doesn't take anything out of it. Unbelievable. And she's not requiring more than the 2 acres of land. I mean, Meri is the gift that keeps on giving to him. I don't think he appreciates her. Robin laughs at the joke. Cody, confused. May have taken one too many pills.
Allegedly.
I'm trying to follow.
What day? Call it my severance package.
On what? Our marriage?
Later on, reflecting on it in the couch interview, Cody says this.
It's a weird space to be with the severance package thing because I don't know if this is passive aggressive or if it's just aggressive or if it's a joke. And I don't know, and I haven't known my whole marriage.
There was nothing she said, even slightly passive aggressive whatsoever. It was a joke. But Cody would be passive aggressive because he is all the time. Again, projecting. He's convinced because he knows in his head, if I were in that situation, I would be really mean because I'm treating her terribly. If that were me, anyone treated me like that, they'd get the full wrath of Cody. At minimum, passive aggressiveness. So he's convinced she's being passive aggressive because that's what Cody does. Can't take anything at face value because he's always got subtexts, plots, secrets, all swirling around in that jumbled up head of his. And he's convinced everybody else lives in a world the same way. Option 2.
Or if it's just aggressive.
It's either passive aggressive or aggressive. Yeah, it was aggressive. Her telling a joke and laughing. Aggressive. God, you're so dumb.
Or if it's a joke.
Oh. Bing, 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 bing.
And I don't know, and I haven't known my whole marriage.
Well, then you're really stupid if you haven't known your whole marriage. If something so blatantly obvious as this innocent and very well-written joke is confusing to you, no wonder you were confused in your marriage with her. You always said, I can never figure her out. 'Cause you're dumb. Cody decides to give words of wisdom regarding this move to her, which makes no sense. He says movement, even if it's the wrong movement, is better than being stagnant.
That's not true.
No. I would rather be stagnant in a situation that was healthy and functioning than deciding to just go and do some random movement just for the sake of doing it. Even if it's completely wrong and leads me down the wrong path. That's the dumbest piece of advice I've ever heard.
It's really so stupid.
Cody logic. Mary's looking at him like... Cody comes back in the couch interview and talks again about how it's Robin's fault that he led Meri on as long as he did. Not his fault.
No, of course not.
Robin's fault. Now that we think about it, has anything in 14 years been Cody's fault? 14 and a half years?
Never.
I don't think so. It's amazing. He's amazing. He's perfect. So according to Cody, this is a new piece of information, Robin went up to him and specifically said, it is not right for you to break this off with her. So apparently he had been telling Robin, I want to end the marriage. Robin said, no, Meri has to be the one to end it. And then Cody said that he told Robin, she's never gonna end it. I have to cut her off and kick her out. Let her go. So this whole innocent Robin, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Now Cody's saying, no, Robin and I, we've had conversations about this.
I think he's trying to figure it out with Janelle and me, and then his strange way with you.
There's no question, Robin. He's done with me.
Meri, he talks about us all on the property still. He talks about you out there. I know her goal is to stick it out until they decide to figure it out. Well, I'm trying to give her a little bit of rope to hang on to.
She's just as evil as he is, especially because she was, quote unquote, Meri's friend. The two of them, in many ways, ruined a significant portion of Meri's life. There's a real honest conversation between Isabel and Christine, where Isabel breaks down in tears and is continuing to ask her mom to give her this reassurance that this isn't David replacing Cody for her.
We won't try to replace Dad, right? For us.
Because no one's going to replace your dad.
Right.
No one.
Ugh.
If you need a dad figure or a father figure or someone like that, he'll be whatever you need.
And Christine does do a good job of reassuring her.
I always wanted you guys to have a great relationship with your dad.
Yeah.
A great one. So David coming in, all that does is someone else to love. But replacing Dad, no.
And I will say, after Janelle and Christine left Cody, Christine has actively encouraged all of her kids to stay in contact with Cody and to accept him, what little he can give and what little time he has for them and the rare times that he can call, to just be excited about it and accept it for what it is. Whereas Janelle, when her kids were like, we're done with them, she said, I understand. You can cut them off if you want. So, which I find interesting. I would have thought it would have been the other way around. But it does not seem like anybody, not even Savannah, is really close with him anymore. Maybe Logan. I mean, I don't think they're close, but maybe Logan is communicating with him. Or in communication, as Cody would refer to it.
In communication.
It was a sweet moment, and Christine was nice and calm and real, and I think said all the right things.
I worry that my dad and the chance of having like a really close relationship with my dad is like slowly going away.
She wants a dad. Big time. But she wants her dad. He'd be a great stepdad.
I agree.
Bless Isabel. She just wants a dad who wants to be with her.
David, like, he comes off as like a very like present dad, like with his children. So, I mean, how lovely would that be, right? So, I would love to have a relationship that is as amazing with my own father.
And she sees that David's more than willing to spend time with her, and I think that's freaking her out because she wants her dad. She doesn't want David. This is some new guy she barely knows. Nice guy, but new guy that she barely knows. She wants her dad. Maybe, just maybe, Cody will watch this and step up. Do you think? Or am I giving him too much credit? Back at Chateau Robin, we have Meri actually telling the young'uns, as well as Brianna, that she is going to be moving to Parowan, Utah permanently. They ask a couple questions. Solomon doesn't say anything, of course. When was the last time we heard Solomon speak? He's such a shy boy. Meri had an interesting comment, though, that she was very sad because she said she has always been very close to Solomon, and Solomon and her have a very special relationship. Just Solomon. And then later on she says, oh, I know Ari's sad. She really loves me. Okay, and maybe it was just the way it was edited. I'm not saying she doesn't like one, but she was very clear when she said Solomon is the one that she's connected to. Not an unusual thing that you would gravitate to one child more than another, but maybe again, this is snarky TLC editing going on. Who knows? Meri goes in for a hug from Cody at the very end.
No, why?
I don't know why. Just walk out the door. Let him feel like he is losing something, Meri. Stop feeding in.
I feel you.
And Cody with his classic glassy big eyes and red face. I forgot to add that. He always has a red face when he's in his weird state of altered whatever.
Allegedly.
Gives her a hug and stares off.
It is kind of weird. It feels a little sad.
It is sad.
Well,
Sort of like the end of an era.
It is sad.
And does an obligatory line at the end, which is not, which is like almost a mean thing to say. It's sad. It's the end of an era. Cody, you told her to leave. Now you're telling her it's sad. It's the end of an era. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, the end of an era in terms of you're not going to see her at all anymore. The era ended a decade ago in terms of your marriage, so shouldn't be too sad. But it is sad for Meri because it's the first time that she's actually come to terms with and accepted the fact that it's over. Cody, over it. I think 10 years ago. He says 2 years ago. What do you think?
It's weird to me because I can see Cody's sad, and he has gotten emotional several times about it.
Lies! Lies! She's looking around as she's saying this because she knows she's like searching for the right words. What can I say here? That he won't get mad that I make it look like he still wants her, but it looks like Cody's not as bad of a husband as everybody thinks he is. Lies. He is not sad. He does not cry tears over Meri. Does not. He has only cried tears for himself his whole life. Do you want us to believe for 1 second he's crying tears over Meri moving to Parowan? So, I mean, if you're gonna lie, make it a good one anyway, Robin.
Must be good for Meri to move. It's a beginning. I got a bit of a nostalgic heart, and it's a little broken.
More lies. Absolutely more lies. The broken nostalgic heart is over the fact the whole family is not together. This is just one piece. You kicked her out the door. Your broken nostalgic heart is the fact that all your older kids aren't coming over every day with their kids and saying how much they love you and they're building houses across the street. That's what you're sad about. That's what you envisioned.
It's all about you.
Cody, you are not upset at the fact that Meri is moving permanently to Parowan. Not in the slightest. You're thrilled.
I saw these other plural wives and other families have this bond, have each other's backs, and I wanted that.
When we go back and do our rewatch and start at season 1, that's going to have to be on our chart. You know how we're going to chart every time she cries, every time the kids are well embraced, and she said they're never. We need a column for every time Robin talks about all these other women in the church that share words of wisdom with her.
Mythical fairies.
The church that she just joined, and then they never attended because they did home church in their house. But there's these magical women out there that somehow the other three, who were all raised in and as adults lived a polygamous lifestyle for over 15 years, attended church with people, they seem to never reference these other women that they would really know. But Robin, no, Robin. Yes. We're going to have to chart that, because someday, once we get through the entire season together and I start looking at this chart, I'm going to have the best videos to put out. We're going to have a video of every time Robin said, you know, these other women at the church. The wisdom and the things that they shared with me. All right, let's move on.
Meri has always been open and interested in wanting the relationship with me, and I wanted it back, and we've worked on our relationship.
I find it interesting that she worded it like that. Meri has always wanted this relationship with me. So that was the initial. Meri wanted it with me, which I 100% agree with. 100% agree with. And if you read through the book, it just screams that she was dying and begging for a sister, wife, buddy, friend, because Christine and Janelle were so close. Despite what Cody says now. We have got the book to prove it, with the Tata Farms sticker on it. Like it? The book proves it. Christine and Janelle were close. Way back when. We're talking 15 years ago. And the book is reflective of time even before then. Meri wanted a buddy herself. She was excited about Robin coming in the family. She wanted her to be her friend. Meri talks about that too in the book. She talks about how desperate she was to have friendships, how hard it was for her to be friends with people. So she was giddy excited over the fact, let's add somebody else. You know, 3's a crowd. Let's make it 4. I want a friend too in this marriage. I mean, majorly backfired on her.
And it puts you in the eye.
We can see that. But clearly, Meri wanted to be Robin's friend. And then Robin says, and I wanted that back too. Did you, Robin? Because Meri did everything for you. And I didn't see you do anything for Meri. You just took. Beautiful for you, because she had your back. You haven't had hers. We just heard that earlier. Meri's own words. You don't respond. You don't have her see the kids. I mean, we saw that ever since Solomon was born. Meri had all the extra clothes and extra toys and things in her house to watch Solomon. Never happened. Robin never let Meri watch her kids. All right, I just wanted the rest of her blibber blabbering on to go, but I can't not include this clip where she says it's great if you have a good relationship with your sister wives, but if you don't have a good relationship with your sister wives, and we know she didn't have a good one with Janelle or Christine, she describes it as scary and threatening.
Tell me she didn't say that.
Robin doesn't realize the implications of the words that come out of her mouth.
You know, the flip side to the beauty of a good, strong relationship with your sister wife is if it's not good, and it can be really tough, and it can be really scary and hard and threatening.
Let me just state for the record, there is nothing about Janelle and Christine that is either scary or threatening. Now, I would say there are parts of both Meri and certainly you, Robin, that are scary and threatening, but not Christine and Janelle. I hate that Robin will just throw this out like it's fact. I gotta say something, I can't help it.
Do your thing. Do your thing. I'm not okay.
I mean, I've definitely felt like, you know, some of my sister wives haven't had my back. Definitely felt like there was a campaign against me, kind of a thing.
Victim! Y for Wyoming, V for victim.
There's days when I just want to scream at everyone and just say, you guys, what the heck? What the heck? Like, no, this was not the way it was supposed to go.
I know, because it's all their faults. You should have just screamed at them and said, what the heck? Get it together, all of you. It's so hard being pious and perfect and having to do that all myself. You rotten women, pull it together. It's so hard to be Robin Brown. It's a sacrifice I'll do, though. And then we end the episode with the lovely proposal. It's sweet. It's nice. It's everything we've already seen online. It's been all over social media. And I'm not even on social media. I don't even have a TikTok account. I have an Instagram that I've set up and never go on. I feel bad about that. I should probably check it every now and then, see if someone messaged me. I have a personal and a business Facebook account simply because of my other business that I run, so I have to go on it. I go on it like once a month, maybe multiple times a month if I have an event coming up, and so I'm checking it frequently. Other than that, and then I'll pop over to my personal one. Just take a look at it. Oh, everybody wish me happy birthday. That was a month and a half ago. I envy all of you who have time. That's all I can say. I don't have the time. YouTube, that's as much as I can keep up on. Sadly now, with YouTube Shorts, I can't get sucked into that. I hate it. So even I, who am essentially not on social media, have seen everything about the proposal. But it was nice and it was sweet. He took her to the place that was the most beautiful place on earth to him because she's the most beautiful woman, and then he proposed. She acted surprised. I don't think she was. They already had the camera mounted in their four-wheeler as they were going there, and they were talking to it. So she knew it's the place they already picked out a wedding venue for because it's David's favorite place in the world. Do you think for a second Christine thought he was not going to propose to her? Of course he was. Nevertheless, it's still nice.
I had a speech, but I forgot all of it.
No. Oh my gosh.
Beautiful ring. Beautiful, isn't it? Just like you are. Yeah.
I love you.
And let me just end it with, there is a preview for next week's episode where Cody is crying to Meri in her B&B, apparently after they moved the furniture in, and saying, we had something special. I can't. Meri's eyes get all glassy. She's buying it like he's mourning over her. There's no way. He doesn't mourn over anybody. None of his kids. No, he's not mourning over Meri. Somehow, he's getting emotional for himself in this moment. We won't know the details of it till we see it next Sunday night. But I can tell you that my blood pressure is rising already, knowing that it's coming. And that's all we have for this episode. Thank you for sticking to the very end. I really appreciate you if you've made it to the end of this. It really does help my algorithm. And it helps my self-esteem to know you've made it to the end. And you didn't give up on me a long time ago. You take care. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.